So hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we will be discussing about the tips and tricks to prepare for foreign competitive examinations like GMAT, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, ACT, PTE, etc. and a shortcut way to learn English, because whenever you're preparing for these examinations, English is a language that is very essential and you need to be well versed and acquainted with English. So many of the people and comments I have received regarding that, how did I learn to speak English, or how am I able to speak English in a proper way? So fluency and accent is something that you need to focus upon along with your pronunciations, right? So in today's video, we will be discussing easy ways or different techniques and strategies via which you can learn English in a faster way for competitive examinations, as well as it can help you in your interview and your life ahead. So let's begin with the video. Firstly, what are the things that you need to keep in mind while you're preparing for these competitive examinations? So they judge you on 4 basic parameters that we will be discussing: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So what all are the different characteristics or peculiarities they expect from you? The response time, the proficiency, the accent, the vocabulary, the presence of mind, and the focus and concentration. So you're listening, speaking, reading, writing. All of these things are encompassing these qualities that they are actually looking out for. So you need to show these qualities, that how can you outshine from others. So now let's have a look at the best ways to learn English. So this is an image that I've adopted from Wikipedia, and I've personally advised this as well to few people, and they have got comparatively good results. So listening to English, something. So there are few things that you have to keep in mind whenever you're watching movies, right? आपको मूवी के scenes, मूवी के गाने काफी टाइम तक याद भी रहते हैं. You're able to recollect those songs, those scenes. So similarly, when you watch English movies, when you listen to some English movies or English podcast, you're able to recollect not the entire conversation or the entire scenes, but at least few scattered words, they stay in your mind, right? So reading books, of course, the more you read, the more you're able to grasp and adapt to English. So reading English books, literature, it's not necessary that you need to read only certain English books that are related to scientific background or so. Nah, any literature book or any book that fascinates you. Reviewing new words and phrases, you can learn new idioms, new phrases, you can enhance your figures of speech so that you can get familiar with some new words so that your vocabulary can expand. Learning English jokes. So many a times when we learn jokes, we learn the way in which you are speaking English, in which you have to deliver yourself, right? So learning English jokes can also help you. Immerse yourself in the language. So when you're in the process of learning, see to it that you have some, at least in a day, few conversations in that particular language, so that you get acquainted with that language very soon. Again, English shows and all that recommended. You can watch Big Bang Theory, or there are so many different family and so many different other shows that are available for you to watch. Language partners online. So there are so many different language partners that you can nowadays. There are so many AI based techniques, generative AI. There are so many online softwares that are available, whereby applications on Play Store, and also where you can learn from English in a better way. Learn with grammars. So many a times we are able to speak English, but there are certain grammatical errors and few errors that still persist. So make it is very important that you make your grammar very stable while you're speaking English. So that is very important. Mastering difficult sounds. So there are certain homophones, homonyms, and all. So you need to learn how to pronounce them. How do you, when do you use these words? You need to know the synonyms or the alternatives and antonyms. That is very essential. So you can just go through a list of synonyms and antonyms randomly. And next thing that you can do, choose a particular English word every day and learn the meaning. So when you go to the dictionary, you choose a word by yourself. You look at different words, though you might not know the meaning, but at least you'll have a glimpse of those words, and then you can learn those words. Read newspapers, read everything, that magazines, journals, whatever comes your way in English. Because reading, writing, listening, and then again you can teach somebody. If somebody is not familiar with English, you can share your knowledge, that whatever you have learned. So usi bahane you will be able to even just revise yourself and get acquainted with new and new words. These are the few apps and channels for faster English learning. Duolingo, this is a very good application, and I strongly suggest that you can download this application because there is British accent English, there is UK accent, there are so many different USA and all. So there are different English languages that are the words, the slangs, everything is given in appropriate way on this application. Then there is Memrise. This is also a good application where you can have a look. So these are the few YouTube channels that I've mentioned here. BBC Learning, of course, British Broadcasting Company. This is one of the finest channel shows and one of the finest learning app platform where you can have a good look. Lingua Marina. Lingua Marina is also a very good one. Business English Pod. Speak English with Vanessa. These are very good applications. English with Lucy. So the way they speak, the way they communicate, you get an idea that, this is the way we have to speak English. So these are certain applications and YouTube channels from which you can learn English. Now let's get back to our competitive examinations, for which you will be requiring English as a language. So there is IELTS and there is TOEFL. So in IELTS there's a band score of 1 to 9, and in TOEFL there's a score of 1 to 120. So I've prepared this presentation because few of my friends have qualified and cracked these examinations. So I've taken certain data from them, I've extracted few data, and then I've combined it in this particular presentation. So for you. So IELTS format is basically gap filling, matching exercises, multiple choices, while in TOEFL there is majorly MCQ based examination. In type, if you can write fast, go for IELTS, and if you can type fast, then go for TOEFL. So one is reading based and computer based both, while one is only computer based test. So TOEFL is CBT, while IELTS is paper based as well as CBT based. So countries that accept IELTS are UK, Australia, and TOEFL is accepted in Canada, USA. For Germany, you can try for GRE and all. So there are different countries that accept different kind of examinations, and different universities like University of Mississippi, Kingston University. These are topmost universities. So they choose the different types of parameter examinations for their particular admissions. Now, when we talk about foreign examinations, the four things that I mentioned: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are four skills or the skill set that you must possess in order to crack these examinations. The listening section, it measures your ability to understand the conversations and lectures in English. So in this sample, you will be reading one conversation and one lecture and answering the questions after each conversation of that lecture, right? So the questions typically ask about the main idea or the supporting details of that particular idea. Some questions ask about a speaker's attitude and purpose. So they want to see your perspective, your take, your opinion. That is why and your listening skills, your ability to focus, your ability to be an active listener. Now there are two terminologies: active listening skills and passive listening skills. You need to be an active listener in order to be a better person to crack the competitive examinations. When we talk about reading sections measure your ability to understand academic passages, your focus and concentration for a particular topic. So you will be given to read one passage or one paragraph or one particular anecdote or anything that they might give you and answer questions about it, and you will be having few certain minutes. So for practicing these, there are so many different websites, there are so many different applications online available for these examinations. So you can have a look at any of those. You can just type on Google applications or tutorials, classes, the coachings for these, and you will get umpteen number of results out there. Speaking sections. So speaking ability. It's not necessary that you speak less or you speak extremely more. Speaking optimum is what an ideal is the major requirement. So in the speaking section, they measure your ability to speak about a variety of topics. They might give you certain impromptu topic, and they might tell you that 1 minute we are giving you, you have to deliver certain speech on this or anything. You have to speak upon this topic. So in questions 1 and 2, that they will be scoring you on your ability to speak clearly and coherently about the familiar topics. So you have to be well versed with the trending topics. You should have minimal knowledge on the same. In the third and the fourth question of the test, they will ask you to first read a short text, listen to the talk, and then you have to combine that short text ka whatever content is there and the talk ka content, and then you have to combine these and then you have to speak on this. So they want to see that how we are able to relate to different platforms, to different backgrounds, and formulate or incorporate into a one particular paragraph. And in this, they will measure you on the basis to learn, speak clearly and coherently. And in the fifth and sixth question, they actually want you to listen to a part of a conversation or a lecture, and then you would be asked a question about what you have heard and what you have listened to. So then you have to focus upon that, and the major criteria over here is your concentration, your ability to focus. So it's better that you even meditate, because meditation can help you focus and bring about that, when there's a horse there, it only looks straight. So you need to have your vision very clear, you need to have your focus and your mind very clear. Finally, the writing section. So the sample task in the writing section measures your ability to write in English in an academic environment. So for the first task in this sampler, you will given a passage or a particular paragraph, and you have to, and a part of a lecture of an academic topic. Then you will have to write a response to a question that asks you about the relationship between the lecture and the passage reading. So you need to try to answer as completely and elaboratively as possible using the information that was provided to you. It does not ask you about your personal opinion or anything. You will be judged on your quality of listening, quality of writing, and how well you're presenting your points and how well you're putting forward your points. And for the second task, you will be demonstrated your ability, they will demonstrate your ability to write an essay in response to a question that asks you to express your opinion and topic. So there are two testing procedures over here. They ask you your special opinion or your perspective, and the other one, they do not want your perspective or opinion. They just want you to listen or read whatever is given, and then formulate a particular passage on that same. So here they measure your accuracy, your precision of the topics. So these was all about IELTS, GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, PTE, ACT examinations, how you can excel well, how you can crack these examinations. Maybe I'll be bringing about more podcasts on the same. If you have any doubts or queries, you can feel free to drop them in the section of comments. I'll be more than happy to come back, reach out back to you. And I hope that you all would have got at least a basic way of how to learn English or how to speak in a better English language. Right. So thank you so much for watching the video. Have a good day and keep learning.